guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's client makeover video is a bright and colourful look on gorgeous Zoe, who's actually an aspiring makeup artist and model. I'm going to link all of her links in the description box below, so definitely go and check her out. She is awesome. Also, she's like me in that she loves the extraordinary, hence why I've gone for a bold look on Zoe today. So stick around if you want to see how to recreate this look. So the first thing that I'm going to do is apply a base around the brows and the eyes. We're going to do the eyes and brows first because we're using vibrant colour and glitter, and I don't want any fallout to go onto our beautiful foundation work. So I've applied the P.Louise base around the eyebrows first. If you don't have that, of course, you could just use a concealer instead. Then I'm using a Phoenix brow shadow and a brow brush to lightly fill in and define the brows. Zoe's brows were a little bit of work because she had a slit through one of her brows, so I'm just going in and filling that in with colour to try and hide the slit. Next goes on the P.Louise base with a concealer brush over the whole eye area, prepped and ready for colour. So the colours I'm using today are mainly going to be from Jeffree Star's new palette, Blood Sugar. So the first colour that I'm applying goes under the brow bone area, and it goes in quite intensely. It's called Glucose. It's just a gorgeous matte white, and it kind of just sets the tone and contrast for our bright colours to go underneath. So then I'm applying with a Phoenix blending brush a colour called Prick. This is just such a gorgeous coral shade. It's so vibrant. It's got a lot of kick to it. So this is going into the crease of the eye, all the way across the eye. So I'm just starting from the outer corner and then slowly, gradually building up the colour, making it brighter as we go across the eye. So from that outer crease, all the way to the centre, and then all the way to the inner crease of the eye. And when you come to the inner part of the eye, as you can see here, I'm just using a smaller pencil brush because I really wanted to define the crease area, and that smaller brush just allows me to get the colour really intense in that inner crease area, and then the blending brush kind of softens it out so that you have a nice blend, and right in the crease it goes really intense, and as you fade out it becomes less and becomes softened. So now the next colour that I'm applying is called Cavity, again from the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette, and this is just a really gorgeous Barbie doll pink. It's got a little bit of punch to it, it's got a little bit of purple, so it's kind of like a really bright Barbie doll pink / magenta, and it just adds a nice bit of depth on top of that coral prick shade. So this is going into the crease of the eye but a little bit lower, and I'm going to bring this down onto the eyelid as well. So you want to be able to see that prick coral shade right in the upper crease, and then slightly below that we want to see the Cavity shade, which is this gorgeous vibrant pink. So the next shade I'm applying is my favourite colour from the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette. It's called Fresh Meat. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's like a cranberry shade. It's got a real nice kick and depth to it. So I'm applying this to the outer corner of the eyelid area and then softly blending it up into the crease, just to give a really nice dark transition in that outer crease area and outer lid area. So that colour is just built up as much as possible to make the shade really, really vibrant and intense. And now I'm adding a colour called Chroma, which is a really, really dark, rich grape shade, and this is just going in that outer corner as well on top of Fresh Meat to make the outer corner of the eye a little bit darker and smokier. Now using the P.Louise base, I am going to make a large eyelid area space for Zoe. So I'm just going to essentially sculpt out an eyelid area just in the center of the eye. So that's why this kind of style is called a spotlight, because we're just highlighting that inner part of the lid. Then on the outer corner of the lid area, I'm just using a little bit of remnants from the shadow of the brush that I had that had the Fresh Meat shade on it, just to kind of blend out and soften the edges. Then with a pencil brush I'm going in and defining the crease color a little bit more, just to make that eyelid cut area look a little bit sharper. Now using the final color from the Blood Sugar palette, this one is called Root Canal, and it's just a really gorgeous matte purple. It's kind of like quite an intense violet, which is stunning, and it looks really nice against the pinks that we've laid down first. So the purple is going over the whole lid space. So everywhere you've just applied that base, the purple needs to go on top. Just really intensely pat this colour on, and I like to leave a little space just at the tip of the lid clear, because we're going to go and highlight that with a white later on. So colour in your purple over the whole lid space, but just leave that little tip clear. Now using a matte black from the Morphe 35B palette, I'm applying the black to the inner and the outer corner of the lid space and just blending it into the purple so that the inner and outer corners of the lid have a really nice depth, so it starts with a dark black and then blends into that purple really nicely. Now using the M.A.C Chroma paint in white, that little tip area of the lid that we left bare, I'm going to go and cover in with white paint. So just using a concealer brush, I'm covering that whole tip area in white, and then right in the center of the lid, so right in the center of the eye, I'm bringing a white line all the way down to the lash line. You want to make the white larger in width across the tip of the lid, and then as you come down, thin out that line and make it thinner as you go down towards the lash line. I do have to say that I really struggled with this white paint. It's the only white face paint that I had, so that's why I'm using it, but it was really annoying actually because it kept losing its pigmentation. It goes on really white and opaque and then it just fades and you lose color, so I had to keep applying this. So I wouldn't recommend the M.A.C Chroma paint, and I'm definitely going to be investing in a more highly pigmented white paint for future looks. So now under the eye, we're going to smoke out the lash line, so I'm using that black along the bottom lash line, and that goes all the way in from the outer corner of the eye to the inner corner of the eye. Then I'm going to build up color as we go, and I'm just going to blend it out and smoke it out. So on top of the black, I'm using Fresh Meat, which we used as that dark pink on the eye, and then underneath Fresh Meat, I'm going to be using Prick, which is that really vibrant coral. And with Prick, I really am extending this quite far down, so we really want to bring out that vibrancy and that coral color as much as you can, or as much as you want to. So I'm using an eyeshadow brush for this because I really wanted to make it strong and have a really wide thickness to it. Then in the waterline, I applied the white chroma paint first so that the blue that I'm putting on top could be even more vibrant. So I'm using a blue from the Morphe 35B palette. So I don't really know what happened, but I've finished Zoe's eyes and I lost the footage. So I applied glitter to under the eye area and lashes, and I did Zoe's base. So next is contour, and I'm going to be using our Phoenix Baked Powder in South Beach. So I'm going to be taking that underneath the cheekbone area quite heavily. This is quite a bronzed look and it's a heavy contour, so you don't need to be light-handed. I'm going all along the hairline and then under the jawline and onto the neck as well. Okay, so now my favorite part, I'm going to highlight the skin. So I wanted to have two tones of highlight on Zoe because she's got a really gorgeous yellow skin tone, so I wanted to use a gold highlight. This one's just a little bit too dark for her, so I'm going to layer on a lighter one on top, but I really wanted to have that gold undertone base below. So I'm using Phoenix 02 highlighter on the cheeks, and then on the nose, upper lip, the chin, and above the brow, I'm using our lighter highlight called Enlighten. So this is more of a silvery tone and it's more for a porcelain skin type. So I'm just layering that on to make Zoe look extra glowy. So as you can see on this side, you can see that gorgeous gold highlight, and then over the top of that, I'm taking Enlighten, which is more of a silvery tone, and it just makes her cheeks pop and really come to life and be extra glowy. And now using Phoenix blusher called Hush Pink, I'm just adding a little bit of blush to the inner cheek area just for a little bit of color, just to bring the face and cheeks to life. Now on the lips, I'm using Phoenix lip pencil in Rosewood, and I'm going to slightly exaggerate Zoe's lips and make them slightly larger. And then the lipstick I'm using is a Phoenix one, it's called HoneyBare, just a really gorgeous matte nude. And then on top of that, I'm using the Dose of Colors lip gloss from Desi and Katy called Over the Top. It's just a really gorgeous gold, and it's got flecks of gold glitter in it, so it's extra glossy and extra sparkly, so it goes with this look perfectly. And we're all done. That is the look completed. So it is a little bit of a process, it takes some time to get there, but I think it's absolutely worth it once you're there. Thank you, Zoe, so much for being my model. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this colourful look. As always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for regular weekly makeup videos. Catch you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.